I will go on mute.
Yeah.
Sir, do you want to share?
Idagatella, you
Yes.
can see the you can see
Yes.
the you can see the screen. Yeah. Okay. Namaste to all. Hari Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Madhuvata Rutayate Madhuksharam Te Sindavaha Mardvinas Santvaushadihi Madhunakta Mutoshasi Madhumat Parthivagam Rajaha Madhubdhyaurastuna Pita Madhumano Vanaspatir Madhumagam Nastu Suryaha Mardvirgavo Bhavantu Naha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are in the Pitrupaksha. This is one of the things in connection with the Pitrus. This is from the Rig Veda. This is also used for offering, when I do the Panchamrita Abhisheka, for offering madhu, honey, this mantra is used. न्यस्तात्मीय परं वरप्रदगुरौ वैराग्यभाग्यो ददौ वेदान्तामृतसारवन्तमनघा श्रीश्रीनिवासाद्गुरोः श्रीशैलान्वयकौस्तुभस्य तनयं श्रेयो निधे श्रीनिधेः वन्दे साधुकटाक्षकेलिनिलयं श्रीकृष्णसद्देशिकं गीतासु गीताकर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मात् विनिसृता मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्बसिस्नानं संसारमलनाशनम्. So we are starting a new chapter today. This is called Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Talks about good and bad, people with divine tendencies versus people with demonic tendencies. This is typically in our Gita really doesn't talk about it. We also call what is called Trigana, just like we have Triguna, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We also have what is called, we also have three Runa, that is three obligations. Obligation to the creator, obligation to parents, and obligation to rishis or learned. And the other triplet we have is called Trigana. Trigana is considered as three. One is Manishya Gana, that is what most people are. Majority of belong to that. It's also Devagana. Some people are extremities, extremely on the other side. And the other side is Asura Gana. So Devagana, Manishya Gana, and Asura Gana. So, so this chapter talks about the two extremities of human beings. One extremity being the very divine, Deva, good, and the other extremity being bad, demonic. So, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Apayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam. So he talks about some of the good qualities. Abhayam is, of course, having courage. Sattva Samshuddhi is purity, purity of heart. Then pure pursuit of knowledge, Jnana Yogam, and generosity, Dhanam, Damascha, Yagnascha, all those things. The study of scriptures, austerity, as well as simplicity and righteousness, Arjavam. Swadhyaya is study of the scriptures. So it talks about, it continues. This is talking about the good quality. So courage, purity of heart, pursuit of knowledge, generosity, self-control, spirit of sacrifice, Yagnabhava, study of scriptures, austerity, simplicity, righteousness. It continues, but we can do one by one. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi
Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi
Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi
Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi
Dhanam Damascha Yagnascha
Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha
Swadhyayastapa Arjavam.
Swadhyayastapa arjavam.
So it continues. These are all the good qualities. Ahimsa satyam akrodha tyaga shantirapayishunam daya bhuteshvaloluptam mardavam hrirachapalam. So here, of course, ahimsa, benevolence, honesty, freedom from anger, then sense of renunciation, that is tyaga, serenity, shanti, not finding fault with others, aposhanam, then kindness to all, with all the bhuta, daya bhutam, then gentleness, modesty, mardavam, then absence of greed and fickleness. Is continuing the qualities from the previous verse. So benevolence, honesty, freedom from anger, sense of renunciation, serenity, not finding fault with others, kindness, gentleness, modesty, absence of greed and fickleness. Ahimsa, satyam, akrodha,
Ahimsa satyamakrodha.
tyaga, shanti, apaishunam.
Tyaga shanti rapaishunam.
Apaishunam, that is not denigrating other. Daya bhuteshvaloluptam
Daya bhuteshvaloluptam.
mardavam rirachapalam.
Mardavam Shreerachapalam.
One more continuation of good quality. Teja kshama dhriti shaucham adroho natimanita bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. So he says radiance, Tejas is radiance, Kshama is patience, Dhriti is strength, Shaucham is purity or cleanliness, and absence of malice, Adroho, Natimanita, no false pride. So these are all the qualities of Daivi Sampat, or the divine nature. These are the qualities of a person who is born with a divine nature. Radiance, patience, strength, cleanliness, absence of malice, absence of false pride. These constitute from all these two other verses here. 12 continues and concludes here. These are the qualities of a person with divine nature, Daivi Sampat. Teja Kshama Dhriti Shaucham
Tejah Kshama Dhriti Shaucham.
Adroho Natimanita
Adroho Natimanita.
Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim
Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Abhijatasya Bharata.
Then these three talked about the people with divine disposition. Now he talks about the demonic or asuri disposition. Dambho darpotimanascha krodha parushyameva cha agnanam chapijatasya partha sampadam asurim. So these are the people born, these are the people, Damba is hypocrisy, arrogance, Darpa, vanity, atimanascha, anger, krodha, cruelty, then ignorance, agnanam. These are all the traits of person born with demonic nature. Hypocrisy, arrogance, vanity, anger, cruelty, and ignorance are the traits of a person with demonic nature. In a strict traditional sense, divine and demonic qualities belong to the one who is born with divine or demonic nature. So actions performed by in one's previous life determine future births with divine or demonic qualities. That is the kind of belief. That's why people are born like that. Dambho darpodimanascha
Dambho Darpotimanascha.
krodha parushyameva cha
Krodha Parushyameva cha.
अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य
अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य
पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम्.
पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम्.
He says that दैवी सम्पत् विमोक्षाय निबन्धा आसुरी मता मा शुचः सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव. It says the divine qualities lead to liberation, moksha. Daivi sampat leads to moksha, whereas asuri sampat nibandha asuri mata. Asuri, demonic nature, binds you. That means rebirth is absolutely guaranteed. So that is the difference between the ultimate difference between the two is one is liberating, the other one is binding. Then he assures Arjuna, Ma Shuchaha Arjuna, Pandava, you are born with Daivi Sampat. He assures him that you are born with Daivi Sampat. The divine qualities lead to liberation. The demonic qualities lead to bondage. But don't worry, Arjuna, you are endowed with divine qualities. Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya
दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय
Nibandhaya Suri Mata
निबन्धास्यासुरीमता
Mashu Cha Sampadam Daivi
माशु च सम्पदं दैवीम्
Abhijatosi Pandava.
अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव.
द्वौ सर्गो लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरश प्रोक्तः आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु. We said there are two. These are the two types of people in the world: the divine and the demonic. So he has spoken quite a bit about the divine people, the first three verses. I have spoken about the divine ones in detail. Now hear from me about the demonic ones. I was telling that our system considers three gana, Deva gana, Manushya gana, and Rakshasa gana. But here Krishna is kind of telling only two, Devi and Asuri. I'm not sure what exactly means. In other words, there's a spectrum of divine nature and a spectrum of demonic nature. I can think like that. Dvau bhuta sargo lokesmin
द्वौ भूतसर्गो लोकेऽस्मिन्
daiva asura eva cha
दैव आसुर एव च
daivo vistarasha proktah.
दैवो विस्तरश प्रोक्त.
You can say just the way I say is because it's slightly different from what is written. Daivo vistarasha proktah
दैवो विस्तरश प्रोक्तः
asuram parthame shrunu.
आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु.
प्रवृत्तिञ्च निवृत्तिञ्च जनान विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते. In all their dealings, demonic people don't understand what should be done. Pravritti, what should not be done. Pravritti is what to do, nivritti is what should not do. They don't understand the demonic people. Demonic, they don't understand that. They are neither pure nor honest. Na shaucham napi cha acharo. Napi cha acharo. They are neither pure nor honest. Of course, nasatyam in their dealing, no truth. Even their behavior is not good. Their achara is not good. So no shaucha, no satya, no achara. None of them they are even aware of. It's not good. So demonic people don't understand what should be done and what should not be done. And they are neither pure nor honest. Even their behavior is not good. Pravrittincha nivrittincha
प्रवृत्तिञ्च निवृत्तिञ्च
janana vidurasuraha
जनान विदुरासुराः
na shauchannapi chacharo.
न शौचं नापि चाचारो
It's like napi cha acharo, napi cha acharo, na satyam teshu vidyate.
न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते.
So basically, we have to assume he is talking about two extremities. That's all. Even though he says two, there are two kinds of people. Maybe what he means is two kinds of extreme human behavior. असत्यमप्रतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम् किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्. So they don't believe in there is anything, any basis for the nature of the universe. There is no Ishvaram. Jagadahu. This world, this universe is not because of any Ishvaram, Anishvaram. There is no greater force. Everything is governed by love, attraction of opposite sex. Everything happens aparaspara because of kama. Kimanyai kama haitukam. Everything is because of the union, because of the attraction between two. So they proclaim the universe has no basis, no Ishvara, uh, and no abiding truth. There is asatyam. There is no truth. It is asatyam, no truth. There is no greater force governing it. Life is merely a product of mutual union driven by lust, kama haitukam. It's interesting. Krishna himself says, "Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamaha asmi bharatarshava." In the karma granted by dharma, I am that karma itself, he says. Karma is one of the purusharthas. But whereas here, it is pure lust. They don't have any other regard. So this is a different kind of karma. Okay. Asatyama pratishtante
असत्यमप्रतिष्ठन्ते
jagadahurarishwaram
जगदाहुरनीश्वरम्
अपरस्पर संभूतम
अपरस्परसम्भूतं
किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्.
किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्.
In fact, the whole institution of marriage, which is in every culture, doesn't matter, every place, this is because of to make everything organized, basically. Otherwise, it goes abyss. All the basic instincts of food, sex, all these things, they should be under control. They should not go abyss. That's the purpose of actually the religion during those days. Now that is the purpose of society. Even if there is no, even if even in a secular society, these things are make sure that we don't go and steal food, we don't rob food, we don't go mercilessly slaughter animals or rob things like that. Likewise, in our affairs with opposite sex also. Basically, making things, our basic instincts don't go abyss. Whereas for the people of Asuri Sampath, their basic instincts is what rules. They don't care for other things. एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानो अल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो अहिताः. Thinking like that, holding this kind of rigidly holding on to such views, as we talked about in previous verses, these lost souls, nashtamana alpa buddha of limited understanding, commit many cruel deeds. Prabhavan ugra karmana. They commit many cruel deeds because there is no basis, uh, no organized thinking. They are indeed enemies of the world, bent upon its destruction. Kshayaya jagataha ahitaha. They are the enemies of the world. So keeping this kind of rigidly folding out of the views that there is no basis, it's all attraction. These lost souls of limited understanding commit many cruel deeds. They are indeed enemies of the world, bent upon its destruction. Etam drishtimavashtabhya
एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य
nashtatmano alpabuddhayah
नष्टात्मानो अल्पबुद्ध्ययः
Alpha buddhayah, not buddhya, buddhayah.
Alpabuddhayah.
Yeah. Prabhavantyugra karmanah.
Prabhavantyuk
It is prabhavanti ugra karmanah. Prabhavantyugra karmanah.
Prabhavantyugrakarmanah
Kshayaya jagato hitah.
Kshayaya Jagato Hitaha
Kamashritya dushpuram dambamanamadhanvitaah. Moha grihitva sadgrihan pravartante ashuchivrataah. So, clinging to the unquenchable passion, kamam ashritya dushpuram, kamam ashritya dushpuram, then doing that, drunk with pride, dhambamana madhanvitaah, their mada of the pride, hypocrisy, they live in delusion, moha, with false notions, sadgrihan, pravartante ashuchiv, with all ashuchivrataha, all impure motivations. Anything they do is impure. So, clinging on to unquenchable passions, drunk with pride and hypocrisy, they live in delusion with false notions and act with impure motives. Kama mashritya dushpuram
Kamamashritya Dushpuram
dambamana madanvitaha
Dambhamanamidam Nvitaha
mohad grihitva sadgrihan.
Mohad Grihitva Sadgrihan
So it is basically mohan grihitva asat grihan. All this become mohad grihitva sadgrihan
Mohad Grihitva Asadgrihan
pravartante ashuchivrataha.
Pravartante Ashuchitravak
Vrataha. Ashuchivrataha.
Ashu Ashuchirvataha
Good. Chintamaparimeyancha prayantamupashritah kamopabhoga parama eta vaditi nischitah. Till their last breath, until their pralaya, till their last breath, they are lost in boundless wishes, aparimeya, boundless wishes and anxieties. Then gratification, kamopa bhoga parama. The greatest thing for them is gratification of desire. That is their highest goal, as if that is all there is to one's life. Eta vaditi nischitaha. This is all life is all about. They say definitely, they're sure about that. So till their last breath, they are lost in boundless wishes and anxieties. Gratification of desire is their highest sin, highest aim, as if there is nothing else to life. Chintam parimeyancha
Chintamaparimeyancha
pralayantamupashritaha
Pralayantamusha Pralayantamupashritaha
kamopabhoga parama
Kamopabhogaparama
eta vaditi nischitaha
Etavaditi Nishchitaha
asha pasha shatairbaddaha kama krodha parayanaha ihante kama bhogartham Anyayenartha sanchayan. So they're bound by Asha Pasha. They're bound by hundreds of desires, right? Asha Pata Shatam. Bound by hundreds of chains of vain hope and Kama Krodha Para, driven by lust and anger. That's what they do, the Parayana and Kama and Krodha they do. And they amass wealth. How? Kama, they buy Anyayena artha sanchayam. They loot or amass the wealth by unjust means. For what? For ihante kama bhoga, of their own pleasure, for their own sensual enjoyment. They amass a lot of wealth by improper means, by unjust means, for their own sense of enjoyment, sensual enjoyment, kama. आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः
आशापाश्य शतैर्बद्धाः
कामक्रोधपरायणाः
कामक्रोधपरायणाः
ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम्
ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम्
अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्
अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्
इदमद्य मया लब्धम् इदं प्राप्स्ये मनोरथम् इदमस्तीदमपि ते भविष्यति पुनर्धनम्. You endless thirst I have for that. I got this. I have gained this today. Itamadya maya labdham. I got it today. Idam prapye manoratham. Oh, I want to get more things, and I shall attain that tomorrow. All these riches, idamasti damapite, all of them, bhavishyati punardhanam. They all becomes my wealth. They all soon will be mine. It all these riches are mine, and soon I shall have more. Punardhanam. I will have Bhavishyati Punardhanam. I will have even more. All this will be mine. I will have even more. Idamadhya maya labdham.
इदमद्य मया लब्धम्
Idam adi maya labdham. Idam prapye manoratham.
इदं प्राप्ये मनोरथम्
Idam idamapi idamasti idamapi me
इदमस्ति इदमपि मे
bhavishyati punardhanam.
भविष्यति पुनर्धनम्
Aso maya hatashatruhu हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोऽहमहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी. Now this is also, I am the Lord. Okay, I am the Lord. Ishvaraha aham. Bhogi, I am the Ishvara. I have killed this enemy. Aso maya hataha shatrun. I killed this enemy. This shatru I killed. And I will also destroy other enemy. Hanishye cha aparanapi. I will kill few more enemies. I will kill these enemies. I will kill few more enemies. I am the Lord, and I am powerful. Balavan. I am Balavan. I am also healthy. I enjoy life. Ishwaroham. I am Bogi. I will enjoy. I am Lord. I enjoy life. I am powerful. I am successful. Siddhoham. I am successful, and I'm also very powerful. I enjoy life. So basically, I am the Lord. I have killed my enemy. This enemy, I will kill, also destroy all other enemies. I am successful and I am powerful. I am healthy and I enjoy life. Asau maya hatashatruhu
असौ मया हतः शत्रुः
hanishye chaparanapi
हनिष्ये चापरानपि
ishvarohamaham bhogi
ईश्वरो अहम् हम भोगी
siddhoham balavan sukhi.
सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी
I get News India Times. It's a weekly, it's a local weekly for news, like for the American thesis. Every week, I make it a post this also on Facebook. I see one divine and one demonic. One person who has excelled in lot of very good things, and another person, he's all very successful. He's a physician, lawyer, or whatever business person, and he will swindle like $350 million, $1 billion, even during COVID, uh, unnecessarily claiming a lot of grants from the government and getting caught. No. It's kind of interesting. I see chapter 16 every week in News India Times. Example of one divine, another demonic, both of them. So this is it's a constant thing, looks like. आढ्योऽभिजनवानस्मि कोऽन्योऽस्मि सदृशो मया यक्षे दास्यामि मोदिष्य ityajnana. Just to clarify, this News India Times is for Indians. I am sure if there is a newspaper only for other community, it will be like that. If it is for mainstream, it will be like that. We hear of our own president contesting as 34 felonies, right? Adyopi janamanasmi konyosti sadrisho maya yakshe dasyami modishya ityagnana vimohitaha. So these are all adya. I am, what is that? Adya. I am wealthy, I am opulent, adyomi. I am thinking that I am noble, I am rich. Who is my equal? Kaunosmi sadrisho maya. I will perform elaborate yakshe dasyami modishya. I will perform very elaborate rituals, and I will rejoice as per my will. Thus they boast out of sheer ignorance. Ityagnana vimohitaha. Yasye dasyami. Do this. I will rejoice more. Modishya. I am going to enjoy more. Um, Our Modi is not like that. This is different kind of Moda. Modishya is I shall rejoice. So I am noble, I am rich. Who is my equal? I will perform elaborate rituals. I will I will give alms, even in giving they boast, and I will rejoice as per my will. Thus they boast out of sheer ignorance. Adhyo vijanavanasmi
आढ्योऽभिजनवानस्मि
konyosti sadrisho maya
कौन्योऽस्मि सदृशो मया
yakshe yakshe dasyami modishya
यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्य
ityajnana vimohitaha.
इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः.
Yakshe means I do lot of yagnas, I do lot of worship. I shall work, I shall perform many rituals. So they do even that it's boasting, right? Aneka chitta vibrantaha mohajala samavritaha prasaktaha kama bhogeshu pathanti narake ashuchau. He says that carried away by countless aneka chitta vibrantaha, then fanciful thoughts, vibranti, they get caught in the web of illusion. Moha jala samavritaha. Moha jala samavritaha. Web of illusion, and are addicted to gratification of the senses. Kama prasaktaha kama bhogeshu. By doing all these things, patamti narake ashuchau. They plunge into the hell of their own making, the hell they won't create for themselves. So carried away by countless fanciful thoughts, they get caught in the web of illusion and are addicted to gratification of the senses. They thus they plunge into the hell of their own making. Aneka chitta vibrantaha
अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ताः
moha jala samavritaha
मोहजालसमृत समावृताः
prasaktaha kama bhogeshu
प्रसक्ताः कामभोजेषु भोगेषु
patanti narake ashuchau.
पतन्ति नरके अशुचौ.
आत्मसम्भाविताः स्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेन अविधिपूर्वकम्. So they are self-arrogant, right? They are atmasambhavitaha. They are arrogant and stubborn, stabdaha, stubborn, intoxicated, dhanamana madhanvitaha, intoxicated by wealth and pride. Yajante nama yajnaiste. They engage in worship only in name, only for name's show off. Elaborate worship, they do that for show off. They're not in the spirit of worship, spirit of glamour, showing off. Dambena avidhi purvakam. They do that only for pomp without regard for rules or regulations. They don't follow any rules for that. Avidhi purvakam. So they want to show off, conducting elaborate kinds of worship only for namesake, to show off how good they are, like that. Like we remember that Reddy brothers made a lot of money smuggling coal, right, from Ballari Reddy brothers. They ruined all the roads from Ballari to Mangalore by overloading the tracks and uh, exceeding the capacity of the weight bearing strength of the road, and amassed lot of wealth. Right? They also gave a huge diamond uh, crown or something to Tirupati Lord, like that. Kind of everything they did was showing off like that. Atmasambhavita stabdaha
आत्मसम्भाविताः स्तब्धाः
dhanamanamadhanvitaha
धनमान्
dhanamanamadhanvitaha
धनमानमदान्विताः
yajante nama yajnaiste
यजन्ते यज्ञ
yajante nama yajnaiste
यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते
dambhena avidipurvakam.
दम्भेना अविधिपूर्वकम्.
Actually, we can see chapter 16 coming to life. We can see this. Just read the newspaper every day. You can see it working. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshritaha mamapna paradeheshu tadishyantyo abhyasuyakaha. So clinging on to ego, ahankaram, balam, dharpam, ego and vanity. For ego, clinging on to egoism and vanity, and, and by force, lust and rage, kamam, krodam and dharpam, uh, clinging on to that, these malicious people undermine the divine presence in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, because God resides in the heart of everyone. They basically are undermining the very divine presence in them, because you say every body is a temple. So they're undermining the residing supreme within themselves. And also, once they are undermining in their own, also undermining the others. When they are not even recognizing the divinity in themselves, how will they recognize in others? So, clinging on to egoism and vanity, exhibiting force, lust, and rage, these malicious people undermine the divine presence in their own bodies and in the bodies of others. Ahankaram balam dharpam
अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं
kamam krodam cha samshritaha
कामं क्रोधं च संश्रिताः
mamatma paradeheshu
मामात्मपरदेहेषु
pradvishanto abhyasuyakaha.
प्रत्विषन्तो अभ्यसूयकाः.
तानहं दिशत क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रम् अशुभाम् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु. So what is God doing for them? So I am constantly throw them to this cruel and worst of men into demonic wombs in the vast cycle of birth and death. So Krishna is assuring that this kind of people will be returned to the same kind of rebirth. So there will always be, he's guaranteeing that there will always be demonic people in this world, because they have to reform themselves. But they get basically whatever the kind of life they led, they come back to the same kind of life. It actually, Krishna himself assures that, God himself assures. I constantly throw this cruel, hateful, and worst of man into demonic womb in the vast cycle of birth and death. So here, demonic womb signifies the birth with demonic qualities. No womb is demonic, it's just a metaphor that is basically with demonic qualities. Krishna mentions it that even this kind of people he talks about in chapter 9, right? Apichet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadhureva samantavyah samyak gavasito hisaha. Doesn't matter. Is that once they turn into him, they become sadhu. but that they have to do themselves, right? That is what he's saying. He makes sure that until they reform, they keep coming back in the same way. But they can turn around very, very quickly. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvatshantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. So chapter 9, he says that. Tanaham dvishata kruran
तानहं द्विशतः क्रूरान्
samsareshu naradhaman
संसारेषु नराधमान्
क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान्
क्षिचाम्य
क्षिपामि
क्षिपाम्यज
क्षिपामि अजस्रमशुभाम्
क्षिपाम्यजश्रमशुभान्
क्षिपामि अजस्रम असुराम. So two
क्षिप-
come क्षिपाम्यजस्रम असुराम अशुभाम क्षिपाम
क्षिपाम्
अजस्रम अशुभाम
क्षिपाम्यजश्रमशुभान्
आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु.
आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु
आसुरीषु एव योनिषु आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु
आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु
आसुरीं योगिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्य कौन्तेय ततो यान्ति अधमां गतिम्. They say again and again, it's not once. These deluded people are born with demonic traits. Doesn't matter as long as they don't reform themselves, they keep on coming back and fail to attain the supreme. They sink to the lowest of depths. Asurim yogi mapannaha
आसुरीं योगिमापन्याः
मूढ़ा जन्मनि जन्मनि
मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि
माम प्राप्यैव कौन्तेय
मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय
यतो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्.
यतो यान्त्यधमागनिम्
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. He says that there are three gates to hell, that is uh, kama, krodha, and lobha. Lust, uh, anger, and greed. Kama, krodha, lobha. Those three things. One should renounce from them. Tasmat etatrayan tyajet. We should not be bound by kama, krodha, and lobha. They are the um, three gates to hell. Any one of them itself will take you to hell, but there are three different gates. Kama, krodha, lobha. Trividhan narakasyedam
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं
द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः
द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः
कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभः
कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः
तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्.
तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्.
Yeah. So he had told earlier, right, in earlier chapter, that why we do bad things. He was telling kama esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhavaha, mahashano, mahapapma, vidyena mihavairina. He said kama and krodha are which are essentially the properties of rajoguna that drives one to do bad things. So he's telling here lobha is adding one more, kama, krodha, and greed. एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमोद्वारस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्. But one who is liberated, vimuktah, एतैर्विमुक्तः, Arjuna, he says one who is released from that, uh, from these three gates, right? Tribir these three gates, one who is released from these three gates of darkness, that a person elevates his inner self and attains the ultimate goal. Acharat yatmana shreyaha. elevates the tatoyati parangatim, gets the ultimate goal. Etair vimukta kaunteya
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय
tamodhvara trivair naraha
तम तमो
tamodhvaraistribit naraha.
तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नः
That is tamodhvaraihi tribihi naraha. Tamodhvaraihi tribihi naraha. Namodhvaraistribir naraha.
तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः
आचरत्यात्मनश्रेयः
आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः
ततो याति परां गतिम्.
ततो याति परां गतिम्.
यशास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्. Now we talks about to follow the rules. For everything there is rule. The one who ignores the rule, yaha shastra vidim utsrija, not following the prescribed rules, and follows his own, vartate kama karataha, just to making one's own rules, not following the protocol. Such a person just divine kama karataha, divine by just personal desires, selfish desires. Such a person does not, nasasiddhim avapnoti, such a person doesn't attain perfection, happiness or liberation, nasukam naparangatim. So when you don't follow the rules, one who ignores the prescribed rules and follows his own rules out of just selfish desire, oh, this is easy, I will just do like this, it makes me happy, I'm going to break the rules. So such a person doesn't attain perfection, and also no happiness or no liberation. Yashastra vidhimutsrujya
यशास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य
vartate kamakaratah
वर्तते कामकारतः
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
न परां न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
Like we always have a saying, it's a saying in Kannada, Vrata ketru sukha padbeku. Even if you break the rules, at least it should work out good for you. But usually when you break the rules, it really doesn't work out. That's why even if you break it, at least you should enjoy it. But he's telling that when you break the rules, it's very difficult to nasukam naparangatim. When you break the rules, you really don't. Because if nobody else, at least you know you have broken the rules. So doing anything as Shastra, even to play a game, we should know what the protocol, what the rules are. Like you have, there's so many card games, right? 56 cards are there. There's tens of card games. Remi is there, 28 is there, Teen Patti is there, Andar Bahar there. For every one of them are rules. You cannot violate, you cannot play 28 using rules for bridge. So you have to know the rules, even for things like that. Even for playing a game, anything, cricket, football, doesn't matter. Cricket itself limited over match as a different rule than 5-day test. So you should understand, oh, just because it's easy for me, I will do. You really don't get any benefit out of that. We'll do this one more time. Yashastra vidhimutsrujya
यशास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य
vartate kamakaratah
वर्तते कामकारतः
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
When we were doing a postdoctoral work in Lexington, Kentucky, our boss was he wanted us to follow protocol nicely, to do experiments in a way it can be published using all the right things, using the right controls, everything. So sometimes when we are lab meeting, says, is Bob Dixon, Bob, I did a quick and dirty experiment. You would say it was not even quick. So kind of when you try to do some shortcuts, he was very funny. He used to say, Bob, I just did a quick and dirty experiment. It was not even quick. He said, like it's only dirty. So we need to follow protocol for everything. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya karyo vyavasthito natva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharhasi. So he said, therefore shastra is pramana, the protocol. Therefore the words of wise be your guide in determining what should be done and what should not be done. Having understood that eternal wisdom, natva shastra vidhanoktam, you should do accordingly. In other words, you should act knowing how it should be done, right? Therefore, uh, shastra is pramana. Whatever protocol has been established by the wise, that is the determining factor. So about what should be done, karya, akaryam, avastita, what should be done and what should not be done. So understand it, natva shastra vidhanam, what is told, then only you should do the act. So therefore, let the words of wise be your guide in determining what should be done and what should not be done. Having understood the eternal wisdom, you should act accordingly. A lot of time we feel guilty because we don't know what the protocol or what is this or we might have violated. Once we understand completely, then we don't even feel guilty. I'll give you an example. My friend Vaikunt Reddy, of course, uh, his wife Jaya Reddy, she used to, in 1994 when he started Gita Jayanti in our temple, she was the only other lady who could recite the entire Gita at that time. And just few years ago, their son fell in love with uh, some Chinese girl in Cambridge, and they were going to get married. So Reddy was very confused. Am I doing anything wrong? Uh, should we do because this kind of thing? And he wanted to do a big wedding, but the Chinese side, they were not really interested in any wedding and kind of differences like that. So, am I doing anything wrong? He asked me. I said, no, because you understand the Shastra, Tasma Shastram Pramananti. Our, uh, our Vedic wedding recognizes 8 kinds of weddings, 8 forms of weddings. Your son has fallen in love with a girl, it's a Gandharva Vivaha. You don't have to worry about if they are not interested in any elaborate rituals. You don't have to. Because Gandharva Vivaha is part of our Shastra. Our Bharata himself was born like that, right? Dushyanta and Shakuntala. Dushyanta and Shakuntala had the Gandharva Vivaha, and the Bharata was born. Our country itself is called Bharat. So it is. So you should not worry. I told him. You are. Then I showed him Kanchi Swami, Kanchi Periyar has written a book, Hindu Dharma. In that, he clearly talks about 8 kinds of weddings. So one of them is Gandharva. He also writes, nowadays this is becoming very popular. So there is really absolutely, so if you understand that, then you have no confusion. So Tasmat Shastram Pramanante
Tatsmat shatram pramanete
Karya Karyo Vyavasthito
karya karya vyavasthitau
Natva Shastra Vidhanoktam
natva shastra vidhanoktam
Karma Kartum Yuharhasi.
karma kartru mihasmati.
Karma Kartum Iha Arhasi. In this world, you will, before you do, understand the rules. This is actually completes this chapter. We can do the concluding verse. Om Tat Saditi
Om Tat Saditi
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu
Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu
Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre
Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogo Nama
Daivasura Sampat Vibhago Nama
Shodashodhyayaha.
Shodashodhyayaha.
Which is kind of interesting. Daivasura Sampat, both are called as some kind of sampati. Even the asura is also sampati, daiva is also. So Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Both are sampatis. That is our wealth. Whatever we have got is our wealth. So it's kind of interesting. So the 17 chapter 16 concludes here. We have few more 3 or 4 minutes. Today Hari is not there. Looks like he's somewhere in Cambodia. So if you have any questions or any comments, a few minutes. Okay,
Namaste.
Sindhu, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I you mentioned about false pride, right? And that too, that Dev Dev Sampada can have that, right? But pride, don't we think pride, first of all, is anyways it is not a good thought to have. And then what is false pride on top of that? Thank you.
I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. So you talked about false pride, right? That
Yeah,
Deva is saying
false pride. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Damba. Yeah.
So first of all, what is false pride? That is first question. And second is, anyways, we are not supposed to have a pride of any sort, if I'm not wrong in understanding, right? So why are devas okay? They agree to have the pride anyways.
Well, false pride is when you really are not qualified for that. You are not good at that, but you kind of feel it. You boast yourself that you think you have that. That's the false pride. If you lot of people when they're really accomplished, that is okay. That's not pride. That is feeling themselves about it. False pride is you really are not up to it, but you think you are smart or you think you have got it like that. So that pride is based on a false basis. The pride is based on a false basis. That is false pride. Does it make sense? That means you are not up to it really, but you somehow boast yourself. You don't.
Yeah, but if we have a pride, that is from our point of view that we have that pride. People can think anything. If they feel it's false, maybe it's false for them. But if I feel that I have achieved something and I'm proud of that, it could be false in like being the prime minister, say, okay, so for Modi prime minister, he feels that probably he doesn't, but if he feels that okay, I am very proud to be the prime minister of the country, right? So somebody else, say Joe Biden, he might think, hey, who are you, right? I am the president of United States of America. So what pride do you have? So you see, I mean, did you get the point, sir?
A good example. If you look at, like it's. I'm not telling that there's a good ego and a bad ego, right? We should feel good about ourselves first. It doesn't mean it should not be on a false basis. Like if you look at how Trump is always aggrandizing himself, right? I am good. I did, even after the debate, right? Um, Debate. He said, I won. 3 polls said, I won the debate, he said, right? Whereas the polls are not telling that he won the debate. So like that, that's kind of a false pride. It's good to feel good for him to say, I did good, I did my best. Those are all good. Those are positive things. But going around and telling that 3 different polls, one poll said I got 84% said I won, and another 69, another in every one of them I won. That is kind of a false pride. If he's feeling he did good, I did my best, those are fine. But claiming something and going around and telling that also, that is kind of a false belief. So
Okay. Okay.
what is
So,
not true? What is not true?
right,
Uh, if he won also, really very decent people don't feel proud, even if they really won.
right, right, right,
At
right.
least they feel it's okay. I did good. They feel if a good feeling, that's okay. If they really did, like sometimes you see that when they take many wickets, the bowler is very happy. It's really good.
Right.
But if the guy who didn't even take any single catch and he was dropping everything and he jumps around and he wins and feeling like he was the man of the match, that is false pride.
Okay.
That
So
guy.
then comes my second question. That devas, they are the devas, right? So they are good in everything. But aren't we like supposed to be feel we should be always grounded, not to have the pride of any sort whatsoever. And being the devas, we should not be having any pride. Forget about false pride at at this moment.
They're not deva. They're people with divine qualities.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
divine
okay,
qualities. That's all. Yeah.
okay, okay,
They
okay.
really don't have pride. He's identifying what is divine quality.
Hmm. Okay, got it. Yeah, thank
One
you.
of the divine qualities is not to have pride.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, thank
that's
you.
divine quality. They are not deva. They're divine quality. Deva, it's a metaphor, like a daiva asura.
Hmm.
Neither of them. These are not Teusa. They don't have any bigger teeth, or they don't have any horn growing overhead. That is like the way depicted the Rakshasas. It's not
Right.
like that.
Okay.
They look very nice, just like they may look better than the people with Daivi Guna. They may look even nicer.
Hmm.
They don't
Okay.
have any, not like a villain in Hindi movies,
Hmm.
So he comes with a label, I am a villain, like that. It's not
No,
like that. Yeah.
Prem Chopra used to look good. He was a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think Renu and Suresh also have some.
Namaskar, Andy. This is
Namaskaram.
Renu Anupindi from Austin, Texas.
Mm.
So I was listening to all the demonic qualities described in this chapter, and then how folks with demonic qualities keep getting thrown back into this cycle of Janma and Maran and Janam and Maran.
Yeah.
So if they are also ignorant and full of all these demonic qualities and lust and hate and bad karmas, how will they ever then realize, because they're also ignorant? So then, like, how will they suddenly one day, like, light bulb will,
Sometimes
like,
they get tired of some, we know instances like that. People turn around. Uh, they get tired of being bad. Um,
yeah, but would not Lord
they may
then
not,
want?
you're right. They may not be feeling, they may be feeling they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them, right? But that's why we have countless choices, right? Chances. How many? Millions of chances. Sometime they come around and somehow they feel that they turn around. We have examples of this. We have heard of how Purandaradasa, right? He was so stingy, he would not even give uh, even a small donation. He was giving a broken quota coin, right? So then he turned around. So it can happen. Uh,
It
so
can,
it,
and it may for some people, but then most folks will have to just keep going through this cycle endless time
yeah,
before
yeah.
one day something
Sure, that's
will
what he's
change.
telling, right? We have so many Sahasrayuga Paryantam, Mahariyat Brahmano, you can cycle with Brahman trillions of times. Yes, the life of Brahman is several trillion years, and you can cycle and cycle. That's
So it's
why
like
he,
such a hopeless, hapless kind of situation. Like it's almost like genetically predisposed, because then you are born with all of those traits. So you don't even know anything different or anything better until, like, I don't know, like
yeah, they
when,
have to. That's
how.
the reason. A lot of time there are always wise people also in the world. Divine people are there. Demonic people all the time in the world, right? It is that's the way the world is. And sometime looking at device, some can turn around. There can we have heard of instances like that, um, but there's no rush. And one thing in Sanatana Dharma is no rush for liberation. You can have countless opportunities. That's the major difference between the Abrahamic religion and Sanatana Dharma is they have only one chance. We have way too many chances. So we
For
have to,
that Atma, for that soul,
yeah,
there are chances they
yeah,
can keep doing this.
yeah.
But will it not be that rest of the humanity suffer because of their bad deeds, because they are just not going to get out of this cycle for several janmas? So the folks who are actually doing good deeds will then be like all the wars and hinsa and bad things that happen to people, brutality and all of that will continue to happen because
Yeah.
of these bad people who
History of
keep.
the world, if you see recorded history of the world, Will Durant wrote Story of Civilization. He said that only 256 days world has not seen war.
So
Out of
Lord
the, I think
has
about 5,000 years of recorded history in their 10 or 11 volumes of Story of Civilization, he wrote at the end 100 pages of lessons from the history of the world. He said it's only less than 300 days in that big span, but a lot of good things have also happened. It's not like everything was only bad, right? So many things have happened in our own lifetime. How many great things have happened, right? So it's always like that. There is good thing as well as bad things happening. It's always been like that in the world. There is nothing like a golden time, no good old time. It's only our assumption. Yeah.
Also, like Krishna tells in the 4th chapter, when adharma becomes too much, he will come. So maybe we could look at it that way also. The more it increases, the more our opportunity are to actually maybe for him to come down.
And also many are born to many avatars, even if it's not exactly kind of
Jaya and Vijaya
people
from
rise
the
up to the
Vaikuntha, right?
occasion. Yeah, so many people rise up to the occasion and do something good, right? Um,
Jaya and Vijaya, that is where Ravana, Kumbhakarna,
yeah.
Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, they all take birth for how arrogant or how bad pride they had when, I forgot which sage, he curses them, right?
Yeah, they came back as bad people that to be
Right.
redeemed again.
And then they take 3 janmas,
Mhm.
whatever,
But
they are given the choice.
but if we see
Something
in
like that.
chapter,
Of course, Vishnu only comes as avatara, right, to get them out.
yeah, but they say in chapter 4, it says there's countless, right? Somebody getting energized and they play the role of Avatara. That's why every year we have a Nobel Prize for Peace also, right? They don't for Nobel Prize for being demonic, but definitely there is Nobel Prize for peace. That means there are a lot of good people. Most people are in the Manisha, some are above, some are both extremes we see at any time in the world. Yeah.
not.
I think Suresh ji or some.
Yeah, namaste. If it is late, I can also do this another time. But I had a question about, so the 4 Purusharthas are mentioned of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. And
Yeah.
I had understood that Kama was more like desire, and then you had sort of pleasure and enjoyment that was part of kind of like life.
Yeah.
And then you had excessive desire or uncontrolled kind of like desire, right?
Yeah.
So in kind of this chapter, when we had that verse, I think one of the verses that you went through. Trividam, the Trividam Narakasya Dwaram.
Yeah.
Dwaram Nasham Atmanaha Kamakrodas Tata
Yeah.
Lobaha.
Yeah,
So
that,
from that, I think in your translation you said it was like lust, kama.
Yeah.
So in the Purushartha, when we talk about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, is that the same thing or is that?
Yeah, it is the same karma. This is karma which is opposed to dharma.
May I come in?
Yeah, this is like the idea of the Purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, artha and artha is all the means and kama. Artha and kama should not violate dharma.
May I come in?
Ha, Gurugule.
Krishna clearly says, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamasmi bhartarashabha.
Yeah,
All
dharma
desires are
viruddho.
good.
He
There is
himself
nothing
is
wrong with
kama. Yeah, sanctioned by dharma.
that.
Yeah.
So
That is a
there
Purushartha.
is nothing wrong in pursuing right desires.
Yeah. It's a part of life, but you should
Yes,
not
yes.
violate dharma. Even artha also should not violate dharma. The means of getting wealth, you should not be corrupt, you should not loot, all those things. That is,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, that kind of karma he's talking about. That violating, because he talked about all the previous verses, how these people are violating everything, and in that connection, it is um, actually lobha is material, right? Lobha refers to artha. That is getting too much greed for possessions. That's also a violation of dharma. Yeah.
Sindhuji, we have exceeded time. Can
Yeah.
your question wait till tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow.
Actually, I forgot to lower my hand. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
sorry. Yeah,
And a
thank you.
slight correction. I will be back next Tuesday, not Wednesday. Okay, so we'll be. I'll be there tomorrow, and we'll be back again coming Tuesday. I had told Wednesday before. That was my messing up date. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, sir.
We can conclude here. Namaste to all. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Yato dharmas tata Krishna. Yata Krishna tato jayaha. Thank you all.
Dhanyavada, sir.